Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Is that Victoria coach station behind me? I wonder where we're going. Today's video is sponsored by Heart of the Tribe Gallery, where art meets community. More about that later. Victoria Coach Station is in the city of Westminster and is the largest coach station in London. It is a terminus for medium and long distance coach services to the United Kingdom and beyond. In 2017 there were 14 million passenger movements and 472,000 coach movements each year. The site covers 3.3 acres with separate arrival and departure terminals on opposite sides of Elizabeth Street. The coach station was commissioned by London Coastal Coaches and opened on the 10th of March 1932 by the Minister of Transport, John Brugge. It originally was built with spaces for 76 coaches and a booking hall, shops, buffet, restaurant, lounge and bar. By the 1960s, operation of the station passed through various companies until the Transport Act of 1968 it became part of the National Bus Company. There were moves to close it and move operations to Royal Oak, but thankfully that never happened, and in 2014 the building was Grade 2 listed by English Heritage. Welcome back. Well, I've made it down to Dover, and I'm on a ferry. As you can see, there's the office up there where they drive it, and over there, I don't know if you can see, there is the entrance to the harbour, beyond which is 25 miles of water, followed by Europe. I don't know how long the ferry's going to last. I don't know how long we'll be on here for, but I am going to go and get a cup of coffee in a minute, but I want to see us pull out first and hit the ocean, as it were. So we'll do that soon as they crank up the engines and we start to move. Because they're loaded from the front over in France, they have to do a little ballet dance as they get back and do a 180-degree turn in order for the vehicles to be able to drive off the back of the boat. So as we approach the gate out of Dover Harbour, as I swing round, you will just about make out in the mist the white cliffs. And that one there, you can see Dover Castle on the top. But it's a very murky day, we're not going to see an awful lot today. As we head out there on a clear day, you can see where we're going. That's the crazy thing. That's the sea version of a control tower. That controls the ins and the outs. If he says you ain't coming in, you ain't coming in. Plenty of seagull activity this morning. They're everywhere, look. So let's have a look around the ship, starting with the cafe bar here at the pointy end. Plenty of windows to look where you're going. And as we walk down the side of the ship, you can see there's not many people here today. It's a very quiet crossing, but then I guess it is early February and it's not exactly high holiday season. Plenty of seating all along the edge here with vending machines. The sliding doors to the left enter out to the outer decks, although they don't work, you have to open them manually. As we enter into another seating area here. You can see this is the children's area. I was lucky to be out filming there was no children. You can tell that this is more of a bus, this service. It goes backwards and forwards across to France and back. People aren't on it very long, and it's set up that way, and it is a little bit tired, I've got to say, compared to the ferries that went to Ireland a week or so ago. Much nicer than this. That's the customer services area. Costa machine, obviously. And we're coming down now to the main part of the deck, which is the shop. It is a large area with all sorts of duty-free things, although I didn't find it very cheap. I was looking at the Toblerone bars and they were much more expensive than my local supermarket, so I don't know where the tax is going that you're saving by buying duty-free. Anyway, more of this, and we went all around. It goes around the back of the ship, and then you come out the other side and you're going up the port side of the ship. Port is left, starboard is right. That I do know. And so here we are on the port side of the ship and walking back. Not very much outdoor space. There's more doors there that don't slide. You have to operate them by hand. This was deck 8. And so I'm going to take you up now to deck 9, which really didn't have much going on. Not on this particular sailing anyway. It looks impressive as you arrive here. But turning to the left, the doors to the outside didn't work. And that's the private lounge, so you couldn't go in there. So let's go down here. More seating. I think there's a bar here, if I'm not mistaken. And there's more seating coming along. And then as we get to the pointy end, or the bow, to give it its proper term, you come across this, which is weird. It's just a number of hatches and paying machines, and I think there's like some poor soul in there cooking away, and you hit the buttons and they bring out your dinner. You don't like the look of that. And then we're coming along, there's here more seating. It's, as you can see, it's made up of seating arrangements that are conducive to people not being around long. There aren't lounging seats, there aren't reclining seats, you know. That's the pet lounge. You're not allowed in there if you haven't got a pet with you. Mine are at home, so I wasn't allowed in. And there's the driver's lounge, not allowed in. So most of deck 9 you aren't allowed in, so there's not much point. Anyway, here we are. There's the coast of France. You can just about make out the clock tower in Calais, and you can just about make the entrance to the port. You can see the gap there with maybe a green light, maybe you can't. It was a very smooth crossing. Here we are coming into the port area now. And we're going right over there where that other ship is. We're going to go round the other side of that and park next to it. It's a much bigger port here than in Dover. Dover's actually very small. Compared to the number of ships in and out of it, this one is much more extensive. As you can see, we're sailing quite a long way once we're in to get to where we're going. I'm going to have to start thinking about going downstairs now because I don't want to keep the bus waiting by being the last one there. So we're going to be going into that dock over there. But for now, I'm going to head down to the bus. Let's go see what's happening down below. So now we wait for the driver to come back and let us on the coach. Hopefully he won't be long. Well, we've arrived at where we're going. We're in Bruges. And this is my first snow, if you can call it that, of the winter. Hopefully that'll be gone by the morning. As you can see, it's really miserable here. Not very nice. So I'm going to walk now to my accommodation because I've got to come back here silly o'clock in the morning on Thursday to go to Amsterdam. So I need to time my walk. Welcome back. As you can see, I've made it where I'm going. And where I'm going is a very rainy Bruges. So, if you guessed Bruges, which I know Roland did, well done. You guessed correctly. And I'm going to be spending the next few days here, doing a bit of filming and popping off to Amsterdam for a day trip. So, well, I'm not going to shoot much film tonight because basically it's going to get wet, it's raining. The weather forecast is for clearer weather tomorrow, so we'll do the same walk tomorrow evening when I can actually film better. So for now, I'm going to go and get something to eat and then we'll see you back at the hotel room. I used to come by here because behind me, over there, used to be a kebab house. And I used to get a kebab and I'd come and I'd sit here down by the river, where it's really nice, but sadly closed. So off into town to look for something else. Well, that's the end of the day. Started off in London this morning and it ended up in Bruges here this afternoon. Great, I'm so glad I'm back. I missed the old place. And it was funny because I was walking around earlier on and I knew exactly where I was going. I hadn't forgotten any of it. Anyway, I didn't do much filming tonight because of the rain. It was that really incessant drizzle and it was getting in all the camera gear. So I thought, no, don't do that. So I got myself some food. I've got the most amazing burger I've ever eaten from a Burger King. I mean, can you believe that? I mean, I'm confused. What else? The coach. Let's talk about the day. The coach coming over, Flixbus. Flixbus, well, they got you here, and they got you here cheaply. My only complaint is when I was booking a seat, on the floor plan, it showed seat 2C was in the second row, and there was no seat in front of it. So when I got there, I found myself in 2C, which is 3 rows back from the front, to find that row 1, which wasn't even bookable, had people sitting in it. I don't understand that. Anyway, I wasn't very happy about it because it meant I couldn't film much. So that's what happened on the coach. But we got here eventually. The hostel where I'm staying is absolutely fabulous. This place, I mean, look at it. Can you see that? What a lovely room that is. And I've got it to myself. For 3 of the 5 nights I'm here, no one else is in this room with me. So I've got a little table here that I can put my laptop out on and do some work on. So that's good. Everything's very clean here, very efficient, and I really like it. Anyway, I've got a tour booked tomorrow, so we're going to go around with a tour guide. I'll show you what I can of that. But for now, I'm going to get some shut-eye. It's been a long old day on the coach, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. The Heart of the Tribe Gallery is a community art gallery situated near the top of Glastonbury High Street. They host amazing exhibitions supporting local artists, and they have a beautiful secret garden out the back. So be sure to check them out and support local art.